Welcome to an out of the box video. Today I am looking at Knight, a preview copy of Knight, a game that's currently on Kickstarter. I haven't done a setup video for a while, and I thought, well, can't really do an unboxing because it's print and play, but I can show you how the game gets set up, and I can show you how big the table footprint's going to be. So let's have a look. First thing first, we don't need the rules. But the first thing I'm going to lay out is the court. So the court is where we get influence in the game, and I'm going to put that over this side here because I think I'm going to need most of the space, but I'm going to measure the space at the end so you can get an idea of how it all fits together. The next thing we're going to need is a scenario. So I'm going to grab the scenarios, I'm going to give it a shuffle because I'm going to play this later, so I might as well lay it out, and I get Rebellion Rebelli. So I put that one about there because I like to have my court next to my scenario. The rest of those can go back in the box. And then I need a character, and I'm going to have now I had that one in the last video, so it didn't mean, so I'm going to get a different one. The variety Sir Morgan. So I'll put him over to there. They can go back in the box. So what I've got left is the sets of cards and the tokens. So I think I'll do the cards next, do the tokens at the end. So we've got two sets of cards. We have our event cards that dictate what happens every turn. And we put 6 of those out, and we do that twice. That's our 12 turns. We see the first one, and we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might shift everything over a little bit to the left because you really need to work out, you need a gap for turn 3. Oh, and the last one we get to see that one as well in case we want to move them around. They go back in the box, but we'll need those later because we'll reshuffle those up for turns 6 to 12. Then we have a gold card. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different gold cards, which mixes it up a bit. And there we go. So that sits there at the end of turn 3. We will not need those again because this is turn 3, turn 6, turn 9. And so we have one gold card for the whole game. And then we've got the rest of the bits. So we have 4 tokens for our different attributes, and you'll see that some of them are highlighted, well, bolder. So for coins, that's where our coin goes. We don't get any valor. We get 1 nobility, but we get 2 glory. So that's our setup for our character. We put this one here to indicate at turn 3 our goal is to get 2 jousts, 2 battles done. Okay, we then have a yellow marker for our choice for each turn. We will get to pick one or the other, and that will determine which resources we join. And then we've just got our armies. So I've got meeples, and I am using green for me, grey for the enemy. We always start with 1 on our diplomacy track, an enemy. And I guess if I was looking up the rules, there's probably some setup rules. No, there's no extra setup rules for this particular scenario. So there you go. I've got my pen. I am all set up, ready to go. So how big is it? I bought my tape measure. So your minimum size for this setup is going to be 24 inches, 61 centimeters. And this way we're going to need at least 18 inches, 46, 45, probably 46 centimeters. So, you know, it's fairly, this is I'm playing this on an IKEA, I think it's called a LAC table. It's quite small. So that would be the kind of minimum if you're on a table. If you look at some of the layouts, sometimes you have the character on the left, you get more space at the top. If I was going to optimize it even further, you could probably get rid of the tokens, because I've laminated these, so I could just write on it and cross things off and rub them out. I mean, it's a little bit more messy because you're rubbing stuff off. Usually, the good thing with the tokens, they're moving backwards and forwards, so that's easy. You could get rid of the tokens of this one. You probably get rid of those tokens completely, and you could then, if you wanted to go super optimal, you could then just swap between the boards. So they could probably go. We could probably tag that with a pen, move those over. You know, you could always kind of overlay those a little bit just so you know what's going on. We wouldn't need that token. Even that could be, you know where you are in terms of turns, so you could just cross them off. So you'd then go to a pure kind of flip and right. If you were going to do that, your optimal kind of footprint is going to be probably 13 inches, 33 centimeters by about 14 inches, 30 centimeters. So it's quite small. You know, this is printed out at A4. And if you don't like it at A4, of course, because this is a print and play, you could resize that. I was kind of tempted to print this as A3, then everything will be a lot bigger. But then of course that would take up more of a table footprint. But you know, you've got that flexibility, particularly if you're doing this kind of more optimizing where you're swapping between them. You could then maybe print them at A3, and that would give you more space. So that is some options for setting up for night. Yeah, hope you found that useful. Don't forget to subscribe and like.